Dear Elijah and Elena, sometimes the best thing for you to do is not always the easiest, and or it will not always be initially the thing that makes you the most happiest. So again, sometimes the best thing for you to do. So if you were about to make a decision, let's say you're thinking about moving, or when you all get older, when you graduate from school, if you're thinking about going to college or taking a year off, or going to get a job, or going to trade school, or whatever. It could be a number of different things. There are so many things, and I've talked about before about having wise counsel, and just number of different things to think about and have when you're about to make a decision. But also take into consideration, okay, that that it could be that the best thing for you to do, with whatever situation you're about to make, you have to think to yourself, okay, this might short term it may not make me the happiest, okay, or you will not be happy in the beginning of it, and it may not be the easiest. So let me give you a quick example, so I won't make this video too long. When I got married to your mother, okay, I did not desire to move where we were going, where she lived, where she was from, and which we still live there today, or in that same area. So it wasn't difficult in the sense of it was going to be overly stressful for me, but it was going to be somewhat difficult because I was moving to an area where wasn't a lot of industry, multiple industries, a lot of job opportunities. So I knew that. I remember even when we went to we had premarital counseling. The guy who married us, who's now no longer alive, he's deceased now, been like a year, 2 years. He had told me, he said, listen, you come down this area, not really many kind of jobs, in this area. I had come from working at a doctor's office and was making a certain amount of money then that even as the years went by, I still hadn't quite got to that amount of money because I was in Metro Atlanta. So anyway, it was difficult. One, because I didn't want to move to your mom is from a small town area. Although my parents have always lived in small town areas. It was usually in suburbs, not like in rural areas. And I don't hate those areas. I just was preferred suburban areas or city areas because that is what I'm used to. That's what I enjoy. And so I knew short term I wouldn't be happy. If that makes sense. Happy with my wife, even happy with my life, just not happy with the area. So I held out, and I still hold out hope that one day we will move into those kind of areas that I want to move into. So again, I knew short term I wouldn't be as happy, but long term I've been happy, right? Because I've had children when I didn't think I was going to have children, and I've also been able to move or have my wife has been fine with us moving to certain areas that I didn't think we were going to move to. So anyway, that's kind of the thing I want you all to remember and hold on to. That sometimes, maybe most times, maybe many times, whichever, that you will have to make a decision, and you have to accept that it may not always be easy, and in the very beginning, it may not make you the most happiest, but it might be the most fruitful and beneficial in long term. Something to think about.